Welcome you in the lecture series of Basics of Communication Engineering. It is 23rd lecture of this series. In previous lecture, we have discussed about PCM receiver, quantization process, advantages and disadvantages of PCM system. In this lecture, I would like to discuss about differential pulse code modulation DPCM, delta modulation DM, and adaptive delta modulation ADM. And the outline of this lecture are differential pulse code modulation DPCM, where we will discuss about the DPCM transmitter, DPCM receiver, and advantages and disadvantages of DPCM. Delta modulation, transmitter and receiver of delta modulation. Also we will discuss about advantages and disadvantages of DM. After this we will discuss about adaptive delta modulation ADM, where we will discuss about ADM transmitter, ADM receiver, and advantage and disadvantage of ADM. After it, we will discuss about the introduction of multiplexing, and in the objective of this lecture, you will able to explain why DPCM is used, why DM and ADM is used, and the application advantages and disadvantages of DPCM, DM, and ADM system. So now we will start our discussion about differential pulse code modulation. In DPCM, instead of sending samples, difference of two successive samples at k and k-1 is transmitted. If such changes are transmitted, then simply by adding up these changes, we can generate at the receiver a waveform identical to the signal xt. The difference xk minus xk-1 will be smaller than the sample values themselves, so fewer level will be required to quantize the difference that are required to quantize xk, and the correspondingly fewer bits will be needed to encode the levels, and this will reduce the requirement of the bandwidth. And the block diagram of a DPCM transmitter you can see on your screen, and here xt is the analog input signal and x cap t it is the approximated signal. At the sampling instant, the difference amplifier compares the signal xt and x cap t, and the sample and hold circuit will hold the result of this subtraction, and the difference signals at the output of the sample and hold circuit is quantized by the quantizer, and the quantized output s naught t, this output is then transmitted as it is, or it can be encoded into a stream of bits, and the quantizer output is also used to produce the approximate signal x cap t by passing the quantizer output through the predictor and accumulator. So here the need for predictor, why this is, if the sampling takes place at a rate at which higher than the Nyquist rate, then there is a correlation between successive samples of the signal xt, so we can predict the range of the next required increment or decrement in xt at the predictor output if we know the past samples values, or the difference. In DPCM receiver, the received signal carries the information about the difference between xt and x cap t at the transmitter. From this signal, the predictor will predict the approximate value of the next signal, and accumulator will add these difference, and the filter will smooth out the quantization noise. In DPCM, the difference between XNTS and XCAP NTS is basically encoded and transmitted. So this difference of the sampled input and the predicted output is known as the prediction error, and the quantizer output, it will be equal to the quantization of this error, and it will be delta nts plus qnts, and this qnts is the quantization error. This is the block diagram of DPCM receiver, where the received signal carries the info about the difference between xt and x cap t at the transmitter. So this DPCM having the DPCM signal plus noise, and this is in the receiver, we will have the serial to parallel converter, and after this we will use the decoder and predictor, and the predictor will predict the approximate value of the next signal, and the accumulator will add these differences, and the filter will smooth out the quantization noise. So this is the block diagram of the DPCM receiver. Now if we talk the advantages of DPCM, as the difference between XNTS and XCAP and TS is being encoded and transmitted by the PCM technique, a small difference voltage is to be quantized and encoded. And this will require less number of quantization levels, and so the less number of bits to represent them. So the signaling rate and bandwidth of DPCM system will be less than that of pulse code modulation. And if we talk about the disadvantages, this need the predictor circuit to be used, which is very complex, and the practical use is limited. Now we will discuss about delta modulation, and this 1 bit PCM system which provides a staircase approximation x cap t of the original message signal xt, and this is the block diagram of the delta modulation transmitter. Here the xt is the analog input signal and x cap t is the quantized version of xt. Both these are applied to the comparator. The comparator output goes high if xt is greater than x cap t, and it goes low if xt less than x cap t. So the comparator output is either 0 or 1. The sample and hold circuit will hold this level 0 or 1 for the entire clock cycle period. The output of the sample and hold circuit is transmitted as the output of the DM system. The transmitted signal is also used to decide the mode of operation of the up down counter, and the counter output is incremented by 1 if S naught t is 1, and it decrements by 1 if S naught is 0 at the falling edge of the clock pulse, just like so. You can see in this graph counter output increments by 1 if S naught t is 1 and decrement if S naught t is 0 at the falling edge of the clock pulse. So this is decided at the falling edge of the clock pulse. The counter output is converted into analog signal by digital to analog converter. The counter output is converted into analog signal by digital to analog converter. So we get the approximated signal x cap t at the output of the digital to analog converter. And this is the block diagram of a DM receiver, as you can see in your screen. Compare it with the transmitter block diagram. You will find that it is identical to the chain of blocks producing the signal x cap t, that is approximated signal. The original modulating signal can be recovered back by passing the signal through the low pass filter. Now if we talk about the advantages of DM, the output code word consists only one bit, so no need of framing here, and simplicity of design for the transmitter and receiver, and low signaling rate, low transmission channel bandwidth, because in delta modulation only one bit is transmitted per sample. And if we talk about the disadvantages, there are two types of quantization error or distortion: slope over distortion or granular noise. And practically, the signaling rate with no slope over error will be much higher than that of PCM. The slope over distortion, it is if the signal xt is equal to a sine omega mt, and if I consider d by dt xt maximum value is a omega m, and the maximum rate of size of x cap t is delta by ts, or you can say delta fs, where the step size delta is too small for the staircase approximation x cap t, then x cap t falls behind x cap t, and so this condition is known as slope over, and the resulting quantization error slope over distortion noise. So here you can see this is the slope over distortion noise. To avoid the slope over load error, it should be delta fs, it should be greater than equal to a omega m, or you can say delta by ts greater than equal to mode of dx by dxt by dt, and the maximum value of this mode. And so a from here a will be less than equal to delta fs by omega m, or a less than equal to delta fs by 2 pi m. Now granular noise, this noise occurs when the step size is too large relatively to the local slope characteristic of the input waveform. The granular noise is analogous to the quantization noise in PCM system, and the signal to quantization noise ratio for the DM, it can be calculated as 3 by 8 pi square into cube of this fs by fm, and the slope over error can be reduced by using another type of delta modulation known as adaptive delta modulation. And if we discuss about the application of DM system, the delta modulation is used for some type of digital communication system for digital voice storage. Now we will discuss about adaptive delta modulation, ADM. In ADMs, the step size is not kept fixed. The slope overload distortion problem is overcome by increasing the step size in such a way that the magnitude of the slope of x cap t becomes greater than the magnitude of the slope of xt when variation in xt is large. Similarly, when the signal variation are less, then the step size may be reduced accordingly. So the step size adaptive or changing to the slope of the signal xt. The block diagram of ADM transmitter, as you can see on your screen. In ADM, a VGA variable gain amplifier is used on the transmitter side in digital processing block, and the gain of this amplifier depends on the control input, which is obtained by interchanging S0 T in RC network and then passing the output to the integrator through the square law device. And the block diagram of the receiver you can see on your screen. In ADM, signal is first converted into DM signal with the help of step size control logic, and then applied to a DM receiver at the output of the low pass filter. Then we will get the original signal back. And if we talk about the advantages of ADM over delta modulation, the reduction in the slope over load distortion and granular noise. The reduction in slope over distortion and granular noise, improvement in SNR, wide dynamic range due to variable step size, and it has better utilization of the bandwidth as compared to delta modulation, and there is low signaling rate and simplicity of implementation. And in disadvantage you can say, for a relatively constant magnitude input signal xt, the ADM will provide a high granular noise. Now noise performance of PCM system. The two main sources of noise in PCM system are transmission noise or channel noise and quantization noise. The transmission noise or channel noise occurs when the peak noise amplitude is higher than the half the size of the pulse. Due to this, the bit error will occur. And the quantization noise or quantization error in the PCM system occurs due to the linear quantization process. And the mean square value of the quantization error, it is delta square by 12, where delta is the step size, and it can provide that the expression for the output signal power, it will be s naught is equal to delta square by 4q into 4q cube by 3, or you can say delta square q square by 3, and the output SNR, it will be s naught by n naught, it is equal to delta square q square by 3 into 1 by s square, and it will be equal to 4q square. But q is 2 is to the power n. So SNR output is 4 into 2 is to the power 2n. This expression will tell the SNR ratio of the uniform quantizer in PCM system increase with increase in the number of bits per sample n. Now the probability of error in PCM system. The probability of error in PCM system you can find, it will be 1 by 2 ERFC under root E by 4 N naught. where E is the energy of the signal, and N naught is the output noise. ERFC is the complementary error function, which is a monotonically decreasing function. That is, error function ERFC, it will decrease with increase the value of under root E by 4 N naught, and so the increase in the energy content of the transmitted PCM signal, the error probability decrease and noise performance is improved. So you can see here the noise performance will be improved if I am going to increase the energy contents in the signal. Now comparison of a digital pulse modulation system. The PCM, DM, ADM, DPCM all are digital pulse modulation system, and here we will discuss about the comparison of these system. If we talk about the number of bits per sample in PCM, N can be 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. In DPCM, N can be more than 1 but less than that of PCM. And in ADM and DM, the number of bits per sample it is equal to 1. And if we talk about the step size, depends on the number of Q levels, and in DPCM the step size is fixed, and in ADM the step size is variable, and DM the step size is fixed. And if we talk about the distortion or error, in PCM quantization error is there, and in DPCM slope overload and granular noise will be there, and in ADM the granular noise, and in DM the slope overload and granular noise is occurred. And if we talk about the signaling rate and bandwidth, in PCM bandwidth is high, in DPCM the bandwidth is lower than the PCM, and in ADM there is lowest bandwidth, and in DM low if the input is slowly varying. Now if we talk about the system complexity, PCM system are complex, whereas DPCM, ADM and DM system are simpler. And if we talk about the feedback from output, in PCM there is no need. In DPCM and ADM and DM, the feedback is present. And if we talk about the noise immunity, in PCM the noise immunity is very good. Actually in PCM, DPCM, ADM and DM the noise immunity is very good. And use of repeaters in PCM, DPCM, ADM and DM, there is a possibility to use the repeaters because of digital modulation techniques. Now we discuss about introduction of the multiplexing. Multiplexing is the process of simultaneously transmitting two or more individual signal over a single communication channel. Due to multiplexing, it is possible to increase the number of communication channels so that more information can be transmitted. Typically, application of multiplexing are in telemetry, telephony, or in satellite communication. The concept of simple multiplexing you can see in on your screen. The multiplexer receives a large number of different inputs. Multiplexer has only one output which is connected to the single communication link. The multiplexer combines all these input signal into a single composite signal and transmit it over the medium. At the receiver end of communication link, a demultiplexer is used to separate out the signals into their original form, and the operation of the demultiplexer is exactly opposite to that of the multiplexer. And we will discuss this multiplexing more in details in next lecture. And this is the end of this lecture, and here we have discussed about differential pulse code modulation, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation, and their advantages and disadvantages. Also we have discussed introduction of the multiplexing. This was 23rd lecture of the lecture series of basics of communication engineering. In the next lecture we will discuss in more detail about the multiplexing. Till then, thanks for listening this lecture. Thank you.